Could fragmenting the internet be a potential solution for combating polarization?
Yeah, I think that's a complicated question. When there's only 3 places for people to go, and those 3 places are all perversely incentivized by attention and engagement, we see the problems of that, right? So we all know what that led to. If you have, though, like 1,000 places that are all optimizing for attention and engagement, and in other words, they're still optimizing for that perverse incentive, but it's happening now in many more untraceable places, like what's going on Twitch or Discord or 100 other places. It's harder to know, and so the fragmentation of society goes up. I'm curious what Audrey thinks about that.
Yeah, I think one of the main trends that we're seeing is that people are going to the places that they have more control. They go to these more niche places, not exactly because these are more fun or more fluid or whatever, but rather that because it's smaller, the creator have to pay more attention about what the users actually need. And the nudges, right, the persuasive technologies that are deployed become at least partially co-designed. And that is a very different dynamic. So I'm cautiously optimistic, just as I'm cautiously optimistic about open source AI models, that it creates its own danger, but at least it lets much more people to learn how to steer such issues and also see such issues with much more clarity than compared to if we only have 3 very difficult to oversight the social media companies.
Yeah. I mean, another trade-off is when people talk in small groups or communities, they tend to have more effective conversations than when you are talking to the entire world at once, and your conversation is visible to the entire world at once. So, Twitter is not really about free speech as much as it's about what is the overall design, which is more like a gladiator stadium. It rewards each of us for pounding our chest and raising our spear in the air when we're making a point, because we have a really big audience. And there's problems that are inherent to having a very, very big audience. Now, Audrey, I think you're working on design theory that sort of shows that you can do communication in large audiences, but in a more democratic and respectful, tolerant way. But that's not how Twitter is designed. I'd love for you to, if you have any thoughts about that.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea of plurality or collaborative diversity indeed means that when people talk in their smaller communities, but these communities have a defined way to interoperate with other smaller community of equal status, then what is like the common knowledge, what is the generally agreed consensus across those the ideologically very different communities tends to be the bridge-making statements. And based on those bridge-making statements, such as the community nodes on Twitter, like the one plural part in Twitter, that tends to unify people toward the center of gravity that can create this kind of dynamic that we just talked about of stillmanning each other, of looking in stereo vision and things like that. And so I recently visited DG Connect in Brussels in Europe, and I said to them that your Digital Market Act that is basically making sure that the social media companies in the future that reaches a certain gatekeeping status have to always interoperate with each other with a common protocol. I think that is one of the vision we're working toward.
Hi, I'm Tristan Harris, a co-founder of the Center for Humane Technology, and I'll see you on TaiwanPlus.
Hello, I'm Audrey Tang, Taiwan's digital minister. See you on TaiwanPlus.